What's up, everyone? It's your boy Jay3 and Flats again with another special YouTube video. Today, we are just going to be talking about what we would like to see in Overwatch 2 in the far future.
Yep.
Basically, this is going to be what we want to see our kids play. There you go.
I was going to say, are we allowed to put on this list getting to play it?
True.
That would be a good idea,
but I'll start it off. One thing that I would like to see in Overwatch 2 is stacking. One thing that I really enjoyed before they took it away is I loved 3 stacking, 4 stacking, even 6 stacking with fellow content creators and friends. That was a lot of fun. They took it away, and people are going to say, hey, but you're going to allow Overwatch League stick stack. Back then, I think they only allowed duo or trios for Overwatch.
It was up to
players.
quad, and like their contract, like it changed after that, but like it changed after they took it out. You know what I mean? Yeah.
So that's something I would like to do again. It was actually, even if the content creators got rolled, it was a lot of fun going against, like, you know, half of San Francisco Shock and like half of like Shanghai Dragons. It was really fun.
Want a fun fact?
What's up?
So I started my YouTube channel in August of 2020. One of my first videos ever. Well, actually, I think realistically my first like real edited video is you and Emong. The one after that is a 6 stack when they reverted all of us to Masters for the first time, 3900, and they didn't have the MMR thing. So there was a 6 stack of us. We played one game. I think it was like you, Fitzy, SK, PMA, Emong, and me. And we did one game and we lost. And it's one of those highly viewed videos on my whole channel.
I'm gonna be honest with you. I missed that. Even if we're losing, I mean, you're still playing with like your friends, and like that's one thing I miss, man. I hate only being limited to duos.
That we're being punished for being good.
Yeah. That's terrible. Something I wish that would be changed.
I have hopes that it will change because it'll be a different format, but you never know. So I think that's probably a good one to have on the list because I miss that too. I actually miss that a lot.
That is mine. That's what I'm gonna start it off with. I'm gonna start it off juicy. What would you like to see changed?
Oh, we're starting off juicy.
Or what would you like to see in Overwatch 2? Anything.
Most people know a lot of my rants and stuff like that. Maybe not like Samito Twitter videos, but like, you know, I typically have some YouTube ranting-esque content. And mine is I want the tank roll to be fun.
Is it not fun already?
No, it's not fun.
I don't know, man. I think locking 2 shields and just sitting behind your 2 shields for about 30 minutes a game sounds pretty fun to me.
You know, 2 shields, double shield would actually be so solvable if we actually implemented and tried a few different things, in my opinion. But we're kind of just being stubborn.
That would require updating the game, though. We don't do that here.
I'm wondering how much shade we're allowed to actually throw around here.
That is true. Scratch that out. That wasn't me. That was Flats that said it.
But it's fair though. It's honestly, you know what? Keep it. I think it's fair because we're behind in a lot of things, and I know Overwatch 2 will be good. I know for a fact, and I think one of the best explanations of that will be the fact that they're taking more time to delay the game and polish it, because Blizzard is not one of those game companies that releases something that's still being worked on. They always try to polish things up before they give it that Blizzard shine before it gets sent out.
Yeah, for sure.
But what I mean by making the tank roll fun is the reason, well, my hypothetical reason why we went to 5v5 was 2 parts. 1, to prevent something like double shield from happening again, and 2, because of the lack of tank players. So the idea is that if the tank roll is low populace, if you half the amount of tank players that are needed, you now have double the amount of tank players to play, right?
Sure.
Well, I don't think that's how that's going to actually work, because if the tank roll still isn't fun, you're still going to have the same problem. Now, how do you make the tank roll fun? Well, there's a lot of like rewarding aspect ways, and especially in DPS, right? DPS is a good example. Like when you hit a headshot, you get that nice like think noise, you know, you get the reward, the feedback, whatever. Playing tank, you don't get those like responsive feedbacks unless like you're getting kills or landing ability or landing ultimates a lot of the time. And sometimes, especially you hog players, will go out of the way to hook somebody, pull them in, get a pick, but then they die for it. And it's not worth it. You know, like losing a tank is not worth that trade, but they got that reward. They had fun with it. And I think that's why a lot of DPS players play Hog and they have fun with it, is it feels kind of rewarding and fun to play. But to conventional tank players, it doesn't feel good because that's not how the tank role is supposed to be played, or it's the most outlier one. And the most selfish play style as well. And that's something actually with the experimental patch I tried to, you know, bring back a little bit. Now, it was supposed to be over the top and April Foolsy, but like also trying to make it fun somewhat and somewhat responsive and wacky. You could kind of see that, you know, a lot of people liked that the tanks actually felt tanky. You know what I mean? And yeah. I'm not saying that, you know, tanks should be doing high amounts of damage and high amounts of sustain, but maybe we have it wrong. I feel like maybe you can speak to it more as a DPS player, but I feel like tanks do a lot of damage are just kind of squishy. When it should be the opposite, you know, like
they should have a lot, like they shouldn't be squishy, and like I feel like they should do some damage, but not like the damage that they do now.
Yeah.
And one thing that I actually like about, since you brought it up, is the experimental patch that you did. Like you took away Sigma shield and you gave him like, you know, I feel like if you lock a shield right now in Overwatch, you should not have a secondary shield. Like they should just implement that. And and that's what I like what you did. You took away Orisa's shield. You made it like a paper thin. It breaks, but she has 399 armor, and you know, since she has that much armor, she could get headshot again. And I also, I agree with you. I feel like they're trying to make every single role do too much. Like, you have supports that are able to DPS, DPS, and you have tanks that are able to like do everything as well. And I think they need to like just, hey, chill. Tanks are supposed to, you know, tank and make space, while your DPS are the ones that are killing, and then your supports are just supporting the team.
Yep.
So that's why I actually do like, I think it's like while you're in combat or something, I forgot off the top of my head, it's like negative 20 or 25% healing you receive in Overwatch 2 while you're in a battle. Yeah, so I kind of like that. And I mean, yeah,
apparently it was just a test. It's not actually in the game.
I hope
something they were trying.
And one thing that I also really am going to miss in Overwatch 2 is I love the double, like I love two tanks. I think Ryan Zarya is absolutely fun. I think Diva Winston, absolutely fun. You had Dive, you had all those, and that's not something you're gonna get in Overwatch 2, which I'm gonna actually be really sad. You're not gonna get those that like coordination from your tanks.
I mean, who knows? You know, I've heard, after arguing about it for countless hours, I've heard so many takes of, you know, maybe it will be better and stuff like that. I'm still on the side that I think that 2-2-2, or at least having the ability to pick two tanks, is still the best way. You know, a lot of people think that role queue was part of the downfall of the game, but realistically it was break. Let's just be honest with ourselves. And I don't know how it'll feel having a solo tank. I am hopeful, obviously, but I mean, even current day Overwatch feels very deathmatchy.
True.
And I hope that my hope for Overwatch 2 is we're not going to go away from what made Overwatch in trying to chase what other games are in their kind of like, you know, almost like Call of Duty FPS deathmatchy style. Because I think a great example of that recently is Halo. Halo was dead, done, gonzo. And they've brought Halo back, and they kept Halo. They kept a lot of the core aspects of Halo. And one of those important aspects was time to kill. And a lot of players that are not like, a lot of players just like, you know, that are like Call of Duty players or Apex or whatever, really don't like Halo's time to kill because it's very long.
Yeah, I do not like it.
Yeah, a lot of old Halo players love it though. You know,
that's why I was never big in Halo. I'd never liked the TTK. I like, you know, as a tracer or, you know, something in Overwatch, you could go in and actually get a 6K like instantly. And then and this, like, you have to, it's just so boring. I don't really like Halo, but I mean, that's just my opinion.
I loved Halo when I was growing up. I have actually played much of the new Halo just because I haven't really had time. But I think that finding a good middle ground of, you know, keeping what's core to your game while also adapting is something that Overwatch is tasked with, and we'll see how they handle it. But
for sure, I love Overwatch's 66, but I mean, I don't want to be the judge of something that I haven't tried. So when I hope they allow play testing for like not just Overwatch League players, for like content creators, and maybe even like
that was gonna be my next one, actually.
Yeah, even like an alpha or a beta testing. That's what I would love to see.
Yeah. Well, actually, original Overwatch did that, and that's why I'm a little bit confused. I mean, to be fair, it's still really early, so maybe it'll happen. But original Overwatch built a lot of hype off of its beta, you know? And I think that, especially with the decision made to play Overwatch League next year on Overwatch 2, how practice and stuff is going to happen is going to be kind of weird if it's only just scrims and, you know, and in games.
Yeah, you're not
gonna have any
like
play
if you're
time.
gonna scrim on the like the let's say the what's it called? No, what's it called? It's not the PTR. Like they scrim on a different.
They have their own scrims.
Yeah,
they have their own server.
So a lot of people don't know that. What I'm trying to say is like they're gonna scrim on their own server, which is Overwatch 2, and then when they're not scrimming and practicing, like they have to go back to Overwatch 1, and I feel like that's gonna really throw them off as well.
I think it's weird. Even if it's only like a couple hours a day or a couple hours a week, you know, like whatever it is, like I think there should definitely be a live beta going. So not only one, it's building hype for the game. Two, I mean, let's be honest with ourselves. We're gonna break the shit out of that game. No, I shouldn't have said that, but we're gonna break that game. Like we will destroy it. Like
I cannot.
We will find every bug and we will fix it.
I cannot wait for that. Yeah.
Like realistically, you know, games have bugs. You know, a funny one is in the experimental that just came out. Genji can fly.
Flying, I love it.
That was a bug. That wasn't intended. So sometimes you get these weird bugs, and actually somebody tweeted at me today that apparently when you charge somebody off the map and then cancel your charge, so they fly off and you don't, it actually doesn't credit you. Those are bugs, you know, like those are things that, you know, you need people play testing to find. And that's something that we could totally do and have fun with. But more than anything, let's be honest with ourselves, it would help us in this absolute content, not even drought. What's worse than a drought at this point? It's like a famine. Like we're in like a we're in a content famine at this point.
We are in a tough spot for sure. But like I also agree with what you're saying, because some of my favorite, and I mean this is like old, this is like 5 years old, so new players of Overwatch are not gonna know it, but like Hook 1.0, it was so fun.
Oh my god.
You had the Genji tech where you like dash to like the high ground or something, and then you like ledge jump dash? And then you fly in the air. Like all of those were just so fun. And I miss it, even though some of them, even though being on the receiving end was bullshit.
Yeah, oh no, it was always terrible.
That was fun. That was fun.
Oh, and so many iconic things too from it, like the 6 divas, 6 Winstons jumping over the roof.
That's fun. Know. Yeah.
What else? Like remember it was like Apex was being played on it, like back in, like they were doing like professional matches on the beta. Like that was awesome.
Oh yeah, you man. Like I wish someone at Blizzard reviews this, or someone even just like at Blizzard while watching this, because they need to like bring back what they've done, because it was so fun.
Yeah.
I played, I think, the beta. I didn't play anything else besides that, but it was pretty, when Bastion had his own shield, it was fun.
I mean, I'm not saying bring back Bastion shield. Let's
no, definitely
crazy
not.
Now.
Definitely not.
But yeah, no, there's a lot of the original like loving things of Overwatch that need to come back.
That's sure.
What I think you're trying to say, and I agree with that. I mean, new heroes. What do you want to see from new heroes?
I want to see from a new hero that doesn't do everything. I feel like lately, all the characters that they've been coming out with, they're trying to combine everything into one role. I don't like that. So what I mean by that is like Baptiste. Baptiste has his immortality. He can heal. He can do a shit ton of damage. He can do a lot of damage, and like he does everything in one role. Echo does everything. Echo can, you know, he does a lot of damage, flies, can take over tank, get full HP after they're like 1 HP. It's not ridiculous. And then Sigma. I'm gonna do one of each role. Sigma has a stun. Sigma has no footsteps. Sigma has a shield. Sigma has a defense matrix. It's just you're like, I feel like they're doing too much. Just make a character, even if the character's broken. Like take an Apex approach. When you come out with a character, make it broken. Everyone's having fun with the character. It's new content. People complain, but don't take months to do this. Make it a week or two like Apex did, and then nerf the character after people have been complaining. Don't wait, and then boom, look at that. That's fun.
I think Apex actually has that plan. That's my conspiracy.
Oh, for sure.
And they release a hero broken, then they have the balance patch already made. And I think like Seer was a good example. They put out a patch within a week and a half of like, yep, here it is. Here's the nerf.
Yeah, and I remember
he was still strong.
I remember playing him. Yeah, he was broken. They nerfed
him again.
Yeah. I remember playing it against him and people were abusing him. I'm like, oh, this character's broken. But I didn't have to wait that long. A week and a half, 2 weeks later, boom, nerf. And I was fine. And people are going to say, oh, they break the character because they want you to buy the character. You could buy the new characters with just leveling up through playtime. Like leveling up your account.
Yep.
I don't feel like... So they're not really going for the, hey, buy this character, it's broken approach. I mean, some people do. It is a free-to-play game. That's one of the biggest things I want. I want Overwatch to be a free-to-play game.
Free-to-play, battle pass, creator codes.
Yeah, I feel like because
I don't want to fill it with benefits for but.
I mean, but like look at it from a company standpoint, and this is a statistic that's been with me for a long time. I don't know where it is. You could like search it up, but it's crazy. In like 2016, 2017, so when Overwatch was fresh, I think Overwatch made like $300-400 million, which is crazy.
Yeah.
But same time, Fortnite free to play, they were like 1.2 to 1.5 billion.
Yeah.
Which is crazy, and I mean like good. And I feel like if Overwatch went free to play, that it would bring so much new people in, so much content creators, so much people just trying the game, and I think they'd like it.
Hmm?
And
actually,
sorry.
So no, I want mine to be the hard hitter at the end.
Oh, I was just gonna say, mine's not a hard hitter. You could be a hard hitter. You could take us home. One of the things that I want Overwatch to also do, and I know a lot of content creators do this as well, and also, I mean, it could also help the common player. Please have like a better review system. Like Valorant, for an example, does amazing job. They keep the comms and everything, and I feel like that would be really awesome to have.
Yeah, no, 100%.
Also, a better anti-cheating system if they do make it free to play. But yeah,
I mean, all of it, like knocking out toxicity. They keep track of the stuff.
That's
so
amazing.
when people say some mess up stuff to you or in your game or whatever, like they get punished.
Yeah,
in
for
a
sure.
timely manner.
That's something I'd like to see it. Okay, Flats, hit us with a home run, man. Take us home.
Before I hit there, I just want to let you know that Apex, I'm 95% sure, actually has people that watch Twitch streamers to check for hackers throughout the day. Like that's their job. Like they watch streams to see if somebody in the game is cheating and then ban them like immediately.
Oh, wow.
Like basically monitoring, because especially like when you're like Predator, like Masters in Apex, it's a very small community, much like GM Top 500 of Overwatch. I mean, it's the same thing basically.
Oh, really?
So there's not that many games going, so they can keep a track on most of the matches that are happening.
Yeah, I was about to say that when I play Apex fairly. I think it's like my second most streamed game, but like it's like I've only seen one hacker, and I have like almost 1,000 hours.
Yeah,
it's crazy.
Well,
and I'm not high. Like the highest I've ever been is
Yeah.
Diamond 1, but like it's.
You were almost Masters.
We were almost Masters.
I was like D. I was like barely at the bottom of D2.
You were like 2, yeah.
Like barely D2.
But that's actually a good example. Yeah, that's being paid to watch people play games.
Let's bring it home though, shall we?
Yeah, take it home. I want to hear this.
A big one. Free to play, game, battle pass, all that doesn't matter without, in modern day gaming, the last key to the puzzle. And Apex is a great example of investing in your content creators. Apex is a great example of when that game literally died, and I'm talking
true.
like it hit 10K viewers or less.
That is true. That's
Part
actually
of the way
crazy.
They brought the game, the way they brought the game back is they started listening to their community. They started listening to their creators about what was wrong with the game, and then they went to the next level.
That's actually
They started
crazy.
to promote them. They started to do tournaments. They were doing monthly tournaments. They started to do drop events for specific streamers. Now we have drop events in Overwatch, and those are good too, but they were trying to take it to the next level. They were trying to bring in like
I know exactly what you mean, because a lot of people don't know, but you know, I went professional in Apex for Ghost Gaming, and then I actually quit Apex to go back to Overwatch. But I know some of the streamers that I played with. For an example, I don't know if you know. I know the controller guy. He's on 100 Thieves now.
Oh, nice way.
Yeah, I know him. I played with him. Yep. I played like scrims against them. I also played with there's one more person. His name is Rogue. I don't know if you know who Rogue is.
Oh, Rogue is. Yeah. Rogue is. I don't really know. I don't know Rogue. I know of Rogue. Yeah. He's cool.
So I played with all these guys, and I remember streaming to like 10 to 30 people. Like legit, we all had that. Then I went back to Overwatch, obviously, because that was like my main game. And then these guys, I didn't hear about these guys for a while because I dropped Apex because I was mad at them because they had no content. And then these guys are averaging thousands and blowing up on these orgs, which is crazy. Like, mad respect for that.
Our time's gonna come. I promise. Our time's gonna come.
So hopefully Overwatch 2, you guys do that for us, please.
But seriously, just like, I don't think people, or I'm not saying people, maybe high level management of companies understand that every game that gets played a lot and has a lot of eyes on it grows. Rust is a great example.
True,
Rust last summer, I think it was in the summer, yeah. It was the OTV Rust server. Guess what happened? There was 200,000 people watching Rust every single day. Every single day for a month. Rust sales went through the roof. The amount of people playing the game went through the roof. It happens. Crab Game, after Squid Games came out, Crab Game comes out. It's like a one developer game. Game explodes. True. Among Us explodes. We are in the era of the influencer. And this isn't just me. This isn't just Jay. Honestly, I don't care. If they have made the decision that they're only going to listen and support Emong, I don't care. Perfect. That's beautiful. I'm happy for them. I don't care who they pick, but they need to pick someone or start listening to somebody outside and starting to invest in those content creators and investing in themselves, because that's how they're going to turn around not only all the negative stuff that's come out with Overwatch 1, but also making sure that Overwatch 2 is positive, because you could have the most polished, beautiful, awesome game when it releases. But if the content doesn't flow and the game doesn't keep itself alive with a healthy ecosystem, it will die way faster than Overwatch 1 did.
Retweet on that. And there was one thing I wanted to add to that, but I forgot. I had it when you said something, and then I completely forgot.
My bad.
No, you're fine. You're fine. It was amazing what you said. I was gonna say, by the way, before I think this was before we met you, Emong and I never were friends playing Overwatch, and we know of each other for like 3 years before, 2 years or 3 years. We've known of each other. We played with each other, but we were never friends until we played Apex together with Seagull.
What?
Yeah, once I was playing with Seagull, or I think Emong was playing with Seagull, and then we 3-stacked. And then I think ever since that day,
so long ago?
Yeah, ever since that day where I played with Emong with Seagull, we became like what we are today.
No way. I actually didn't know that.
Yeah, you can even ask Emong that. We knew each other. We never duoed with each other. We never talked to each other until we actually did that. Yeah.
Shout out to Seagull. I miss Seagull.
Yeah.
I was in his stream today. Said hi to him.
I miss him. He's a good guy.
Miss Seagull. That's how you know if Overwatch is in a good place. Seagull is playing. If Seagull does not play Overwatch, Overwatch in bad state. That is your rule of thumb.
His last video was back in last year in October, when Overwatch was actually one of the best games. Like, it was balanced. You could play whatever you want and have fun. And then,
do you know how awkward it was that I pulled up that video on stream and he watched me pull it up and I wasn't subbed to him, and he goes, "Not subbed, capital D colon." I was like, dude, it's been over a year since you uploaded a video. Don't tell me.
You know what's also really weird? The people who are not watching this video.
Subscribe to the Florida Mayhem channel right now.
That is true.
I'm watching you. No. Hit the button. Oh. Wait.
I'm watching.
Okay, good. Yeah, they hit the button. Okay.
And I think that brings us home, right?
Yeah, I think that just about brings us home. Honestly, I do genuinely think they're gonna knock it out of the park, and we're all gonna make it. But the problem is when.
That's the biggest problem. When. Okay, my friend. I think that brings us to the end. Everyone.
I think that brings us to the end.
Thank you for watching.
Let us know what you think in the comments.
Let us know what you like. Let us know what you thought, and let us know what you would like to see in the comment section below. Also, make sure to like and subscribe to this YouTube channel. Appreciate it, guys. Thank you for listening to us talk, and make sure to follow us.
Sub to Jay's YouTube. He's 10K away from 100K. Don't tell him I said that.
Yep. If you guys want to, you can sub to my YouTube, sub to Flats' YouTube. Follow us on the other socials as well as our Twitter, our Instagrams, even follow our Twitch. See us rage in real time. Anyways, hope you guys have a great one. Peace out. Love y'all.
Bye.